For years, I told my 7-year-old son my chocolate laboratory was off limits. But in 1984, he opened the lock, snuck in, and started eating all of my chocolate like a hungry rhino. He made a mess, knocking everything over. And as his hands hit the jar, one huge truffle slowly rolled off the top shelf and fell straight into the pot of my secret chocolate recipe. Making long story short, I ended up selling that recipe to one of the biggest chocolate factories in Switzerland. And this is the story of how I sold my secret chocolate recipe for $197 million. I don't know what it was. I love chocolate, but from childhood, I had a fascination for chocolate. I would ask my mother every day and night, please give me more chocolate. It was like an addiction. If she would have let me, I would have had chocolate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I even got a cooking degree in university. Straight out of college, I went to work for a couple chocolate factories. My job was to be a chef and think of the newest recipes of delicious chocolate that would simply melt in your mouth. I would work from early morning to 8 at night, each and every day. Some weeks without even taking a day off. We were a small chocolate factory in Switzerland, and every month my boss would complain that I can barely pay the bills. We're not making money. The competitors in Europe have sales way better than us, and we need to create a magical chocolate that's going to save this company. So for the next 10 years, even though I was married with a kid, I was stressed to my core. I would have panic attacks and even wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning, shaking of worry that I'm gonna lose my job. What was I gonna do? If I lost my job, I was gonna lose my house, my kid wouldn't have food to eat, and my wife would lose respect for me. So I told my boss, let me spend a couple hours at home perfecting this recipe, but it would be fail after fail. I would sit for a week, grabbing my head and pulling my hair with anger, thinking of a new recipe, spending hours creating that new recipe, going to the store and buying all the ingredients. But when I would come home in my beautiful laboratory and I would mix everything, the next day, the chocolate would still taste average. It was a disaster. Nothing. And this went on for the next year and a half. Every week, repeatedly, I would create a recipe, but when I would taste it, it was the same. Nothing extraordinary. Nothing to make your taste buds feel truly magical. And worse than anything else, my annoying 7-year-old son was always bothering me. Daddy, please, I want to play with you. I would explain to him and grab my shirt in anger. Son, if I don't make this recipe, we're going to lose everything. We're going to be kicked out of this house and have nowhere to go. But my 7-year-old just wouldn't get it. At that point, things had gotten really bad. My boss had told me, if in the next 3 months something magical doesn't happen here, the chocolate factory is going to close down and all 30 of its innocent workers are going to be fired. I'll never forget that night. When I was driving home, I literally burst into tears. I was so sad and my eyes so watery. This is my passion. Chocolate is my life. What am I going to do now? And no one's going to hire me. I'm a failed chocolate chef. So I went home that night and had a long meeting on the dining room table in the living room with my son. I told him everything. Sorry, Daddy's a failure. And be ready to pack your bags. In a couple months, we have to move out of here and move into an apartment. Got on my knees and started praying. Mr. Man in the sky, I've been a good person all my life, and I know I haven't been too close to you lately, but I really need your help. Help me to crack this secret recipe. Help me to create the most magical chocolate in the whole world. You know I work hard, but at this point I'm stuck. And without your help, I have no future. It was really weird. My body started to get extremely tingly, and you could feel this strong presence in the room, like something was pushing on your heart. But after about 6-7 seconds, it quickly went away, and it was like nothing happened. For the next couple days, I really worked hard and worked on the recipe, sweating and as stressed as a shaking monkey. Around 10 at night, I just got tired. And at that point, I wanted to give up. So I went into my bedroom and told myself, let me just take a 30-minute to an hour nap. And then when I wake up, I'll come back and work on the recipe again. When I was taking a nap, something had gotten into my son. I guess his chocolate urge was kicking in, and he had broken the lock to my laboratory at home. He had twisted the knob so much in anger that the knob of my laboratory door had broken off and the door opened. But for 1 hour straight, my 7-year-old son had knocked everything over and eaten every chocolate that was literally on the counter. The white chocolate, the vanilla chocolate, the dark chocolate, and even the spicy chocolate, making a huge mess out of the factory. He had even walked up to the counter and grabbed the $500 truffles that I had bought and knocked one of them over into the huge pot of my new chocolate recipe. And suddenly, when I was in a deep, deep sleep, I saw a huge white light come onto the ground, turn into a glowing angel, have it look me straight in my eyes with its piercing blue eyes, and quickly vanish. I quickly got up and started breathing heavily. You could feel something was giving me a sign. I went into the living room and realized my laboratory door was open. Running in with anger, I saw my son had created a mess. You're grounded for 2 months. I told you, do not go in here. And man, what a mess he made. Took me 2 hours to just clean everything up. And oh my God, my $5,000 truffles. These were a gift to your aunt. And that was it. I went to bed, and the next morning, before I went into work, I slowly opened the door of the chocolate laboratory, took 2 steps in, and decided to check the new recipe in the chocolate pot. I lifted the spoon, I got a huge chunk of the chocolate close to my mouth, and as I put my tongue out to taste the chocolate, my eyes felt like they were exploding off my face, and a tingling, magical sensation went right down my spine. It was a taste I've never tasted before. Magic, magic, this is it. This is the best chocolate in the world. This is gonna save my company. And all I could do was jump up and down, jump with joy, and spin in circles. It was the truffles. My prayer had been answered. I quickly got a small container, poured the chocolate in there, and took it to my boss. Taste this, it's the best. I'm gonna save this company. And as he put a piece into his mouth, he had the same reaction. He jumped up and down in his suit and hugged me. I knew it. I knew you were gonna save this company. Throughout the next 5 years, became the #1 sold chocolate in all of Switzerland. We were so popular that we were in each and every grocery store. We were on every commercial, and the people of the country had voted us the best chocolate in the world. And just like every successful story, chocolate companies from all over the world came to give us offers. So eventually, we had to sell. A company presented us with an offer for $197 million. So my boss and I shook hands with their CEO and rode off into the sunset as successful millionaires. Please comment below on what you think about this story, what you think about prayers, and if you want to hear more stories just like this, click on the videos right above the screen.